these penis enlargement techniques, your penis will become big as the long dick Africans. They have dicks that the world have marveled at and envied, mostly at the same time. With consistent exercising and following the techniques properly, you can gain 1 inch in around 3 weeks when you practice each routine daily. In the Mandingo Warrior course, we want to gain 2 to 3 inches in 3 months if too possible. It is possible because other guys are doing it right now, just like you will be soon. No, this is not BS, you just have to be fully committed and stick to the program. In order to be successful in this course, you have to plan out your dick workouts. Trust me, it's not as easy as it may appear, unless you live alone or have access to a bathroom for long periods at a time. It is, however, worth it if you have been wanting a bigger dick. You have to know when, where, and how you'll execute and stick to workouts. To succeed with the Mandingo course, you have to maintain a consistent workout schedule. Half the battle is always getting started and keeping it going on the days you don't feel like it. Yes, there will be days like this. Many in fact, but don't let that stop you keep going. You have to properly record your progress and modify your workouts if need be to maximize your workouts and gains. It's really as simple as doing the training. If it is producing noticeable results, then continue doing the routines. If your progress hits a plateau, then increase your workouts. You can add more representatives to the exercises. Put in more time if these solutions are not adding to your gains. Change up the exercise to another one. By doing so, you will keep from the training getting stagnant and you not gaining or having very slow gains. Likewise, another mistake you'll want to avoid is constantly changing workouts before they have had a chance to produce results. Try to stick with an exercise for at least a week, even if you have not seen any gains. Add more representatives and times if need be. In this course, we will be using secret techniques, as well as modern devices based off the ideas of the ancient African man when it comes to expansion and lengthening of the penis. One of the devices is a traction device to help your stretching throughout the day. When you choose to use a traction device, you have to make sure that it's medically certified. This way you can make sure that you have the correct precision levels of sustained tension that have been documented to give you maximum growth. You have to realize that these traction devices are medically certified because they have shown in clinical trials that they work. This is a necessary investment because of the guaranteed success of the results. You may be wondering, why not just buy the traction device if it is guaranteed to work? You can do that, but then you would not become a Mandingo warrior. In this course, the traction device mainly deals with the lengthening process of your penis, and if you want to be considered as having a large penis, you need length and girth. That is what this Mandingo warrior course will focus on. When doing these exercises, you have to stay focused on the progress that you are making and not just the results at the end. Don't stay focused on what you don't have yet. Don't let frustration or lack of results at first discourage you, as there are many reasons why some men gain a lot and some do not gain as much or at all. The things can stem from your eating habits, smoking habits, lack of exercise, tight circumcision, having the right mindset and proper training when using these exercises, etc. It's better if you shift your concentration away from stress of seeing results early on. This course is about consistent goals, and it can take 3 or more months for some men to see significant gains. Don't get discouraged, however, keep going until you succeed. Your rewards will come for your diligence. The real history of PE, the real history of penis stretching, has been known to go back to pre-Egyptian dynasty, when early manuscripts speak about experimenting with penis enlargement techniques. It's been revealed that the pharaohs of ancient Egypt practiced the weight hanging system, which made the phallus longer, but it is dangerous unless you know what you are doing. The Bible even speaks about the Egyptians having large penises, so much so that the Israelites were reprimanded for being so enamored with the Egyptians' sexual prowess. As it states, Ezekiel 1:6-2:6, you engaged in prostitution with the Egyptians, your neighbors with large genitals, and aroused my anger with your increasing promiscuity. The Bible further goes on to show that the Egyptians were very much well endowed and that they had a proper technique in ancient Kemet, called Egypt. Today, you have a great reverence for the male phallus, as it stood for the masculine regenerative powers. These regenerative powers were associated with the dying and resurrected Neteru god called Ozir, but known in Greek as Osiris. It was Ozir or Osiris who was dismembered by his jealous brother, Set, and scattered about, so his missing body parts wouldn't be found. The love of his wife Set, also known as Isis, would not have that be the case, and so she went throughout the land to find her husband's missing body parts. She found all of them, except one. Set or Isis couldn't find the phallus of Ozir because it had been eaten by a catfish. This caused his wife to fashion her husband a new one out of gold. It was with this golden phallus that she was able to impregnate herself with, in order to give birth to their son, who was seen as a savior type. This was a magic miraculous conception to bring forth Iru, also known as Horus. This was later compared to the Immaculate Conception of Mary and could be the original seeds for the story known as the Passion Play. This is said to be because Heru has many similarities with Jesus. There are books out there that cover this topic in more depth. If you want to know more, check out the bibliography at the end of this book to find out more. since the phallus was seen as holding great regenerative power. After all, it does help facilitate life on Earth. It was given a symbolic representation. The Tekendu obelisk is symbolic for others' phallus because it was associated with the rays of the sunlight, which also helps facilitate life on Earth. Techniques that I learned by paying attention to what I've seen in certain African practices. One of these practices is stretching body parts so that they become longer than usual. By noticing how you can stretch the body like the ears, the neck and lips, the same can be applied to your penis. This became all the more true when I saw a picture of an African young man who had his penis pulled upwards with some kind of sling device pulled over his shoulders to stretch his penis up. The contraption was clever and seemed to do the job well. He definitely achieved extraordinary length, as his penis reached almost up to his chest. So knowing that you can stretch your body, including this area, helped me understand that you have to apply great counteractive force over a specific duration of time. Judging from the picture I've seen, your length can be almost as long as you want it. Of course, your body may be different in just how long, but as your skin stretches, you have skin cells that grow to fill in the space from the other layers of skin being stretched. It's the same as when people gain a lot of weight fast. Stretch marks are those skin cells that were ripped apart rapidly, then replaced by newer skin cells to accommodate the stretch. This is what we will be doing first. We will use stretching techniques along with the lengthening device to help with constant pressure to stretch the skin and ligaments within your penis. There is a deeper psychological evaluation that can be had with this discussion. In a book called The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing, it goes a lot deeper than I can write here, for sake of limited time and space, as it relates to this particular book. The ISIS Papers argues that there is more to phallic symbol identification than many would like to admit and is the basis for racism, as the black penis symbolizes genetic annihilation. This registers within the subconscious and creates issues in the real world that have detrimental consequences for men of color. After knowing all this, I realized that this subject is so much more than people would have you believe. By thinking penis enlargements is just a sexual issue. As we have seen, it goes beyond just wanting to please girls with loose vaginas. This is about envy and control, it's about competition and conquest, and in the end, it's about ego and pride. All the wars ever fought were really just big measuring contests to see who comes out on top with the biggest wang. If in real life you are packing like a Vienna sausage, then the bigger your pillaging and war conquest. Compensating for your shortcomings. That is why this book is so important. It will finally reveal some of the secrets that have been keeping men up at night. These are some of the secrets that early European men have been fighting so hard to uncover by unearthing everything they can in my homeland of Africa. Maybe now Pandora's box that they have been so anxious to pry open can finally be opened. Maybe then we can stand next to each other at the urinal, finally get along and stop fighting over who has the biggest dick. For African men, their endowment is mostly hereditary, coming from DNA of those who mastered the techniques in a very ancient past. That's not to be Kemetic memory marker. While that may be the case, you have those others if genetics are not passed on. For them, it had to be a secret. I knew it was one that I was determined to find out. One of the first clues came from when I was younger. I was over a friend's house one day and he had his cousin over. While sitting there watching TV, I could see out the corner of my eye that he was messing with his belt and what looked like his dick. For the want of not being called gay, the curiosity of knowing what he was doing caused me to keep glancing, until he noticed. Sure enough came the taunting of, "What, are you gay?" I'm like, hell no. I was just wondering what he was doing. Once he realized that no gay stuff was being exhibited, he wanted to show me and explain what he was doing. I wanted to know, but he had already asked if I was gay, and I thought it would be cool to watch a guy handling his cock, even if for demonstration purposes. So I declined to look back away. This guy with his own homemade invention for PE, all I can say is it had something to do with a belt and pulling your penis towards your upper thigh and waist. For my fear of being labeled gay by the guys, I missed out on an opportunity to learn one of the secrets of black guys' PE. I thought back many a times, like damn if I would have learned that, a lot of the problems I faced later wouldn't have ever happened. Such is hindsight, right? It was after this that I tried to find my own techniques and formula. I made all kinds of weird contraptions that never worked and only made my dick hurt or it would fall off while wearing it, so I would have to rush to the bathroom for fear of embarrassment. After a while, I went online and found all the different male enhancement pills I thought would work. There was a couple that did make me bigger at first, but then after a month or so it would go back to the same, even after continuing the pill intake. I will say that pills are alright, if you know which ones are the best, and it's only a couple that are. I recommend a certain pill that you will find out later about in the book. I find this pill to be one of the best on the market, and judging by all the satisfied customers, you can be assured that they will work well for you. I also have to say that all pills, like humans, are different, so results do vary with each individual. That is, will reveal the best techniques to get the most out of these pills. Even if the pills don't work as well in your body as the next guy, the techniques will still help you get the results you are looking for. Another thing I would like to express is that this is a full routine course and you may have to spend some money to get the optimal results. That should not surprise you, as anything worth having usually has a fee attached. While this is not expensive when compared to any other body augmentation, which usually costs thousands, you are doing yourself a favor. This is especially the case when looking into penile surgery, which costs thousands of dollars. It's said to give you an extra inch, but men have reported that it goes away during healing and it is also dangerous. There are reports of men losing the ability to get erection, which defeats the purpose of this costly, dangerous operation. With the secrets I introduced, there are devices that help with speed and effectiveness of the techniques. Buying these are mandatory if you want real results that you can see in a short period of time. Whatever I introduce is highly recommended. I will introduce you to only the highest quality products that have been proven to get results. I will explain each, how to use it. I am not associated with any of the products I introduce, only that I may be an affiliate for some and collect a fee for introducing the customer to the product. This to negate my task in finding the best products to assist when dismantling the 1-5 warrior course. I only utilize and recommend what worked for me and other men. I want this to be ultimate PE book. Techniques have been used for thousands of years and passed down to where it was known to the Moors and said to originate from Arabic culture. As we see, however, the only man to engender hostile penis envy because of his extra large penis has been the African black man. The Moors were black men, who the Western world refers to as Arabic, to hide the many achievements of these black men that helped bring Europe out of the Dark Ages and were instrumental in initiating the Renaissance in Europe. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, PDF, page 3 of 72, window. Well, within a few months, using these highly specialized and secretive techniques that have been guarded and passed down for centuries from father to son, you will see a change like you never thought before. The power of these techniques and their results you will see within the first couple of weeks. These are the ancient secrets that have been safely guarded. If the man with the big dick rules today, then you know this information had to be kept secret. Mandingo Warrior.pdf, page 4 of 72, window. With consistent exercising and following the techniques properly, you can gain 1 inch in around 3 weeks when you practice each routine daily. In the Mandingo Warrior course, we want to gain 2 to 3 inches in 3 months if too possible. It is possible because other guys are doing it right now. In the Mandingo Warrior course, your penis will be broken down, worked out, pushed to the edge and then built back up stronger, more powerful and best of all bigger than ever before. With this course, your penis will become much longer, thicker, and harder than ever before. This is the penis enlargement program you have always wanted, but could never find. I want this to be a program that you turn to when you need male enhancement to get bigger than you ever have been. These techniques have been used for centuries by ancient African cultures and passed down to other peoples like Arabs and Asian cultures where they were preserved until now. In these societies, your status in manhood was decided by the size of your penis size. It was thought that this shows stamina, ability, and power. Of course, the women love these men, and sometimes these men are known to have more than one wife. By having a large penis, you are more capable of hitting more areas of the vagina than a little dick can. Let's keep it real. The bigger you are, the more intense your orgasms are going to be. I know guys with small dicks don't want to hear that, but you have been lied to, so as not to hurt your feelings. Size does matter. Women do talk. Remember that. Now you are probably wondering, what are you really going to get from this Mandingo Warrior course? Well, within a few months, using these highly specialized. I knew that in order to get the best techniques, I would have to go to the source. That source is African, because it is here where some of the largest libraries have been destroyed, like Timbuktu in West Africa and the Library of Alexandria in Lower Egypt, in Northeast Africa. These libraries contain a wealth of knowledge that was destroyed by zealots, concealing the ancient mystical teachings.